My name is Dr. Jeff Smith. I'm Superintendent of the Balts School District. I'm here to talk about Ann White, who's an Encore Fellow, and she's serving in two different roles in our district. One with our Balts Community Education Foundation and the other with the school district. She's helping with the Balts Community Education Foundation to help us to develop roles and responsibilities to help us to become more sustainable as a philanthropic organization. And she's helped us a great deal with that. She's brought much needed energy and enthusiasm into our group, and we've been able to recruit new board members that are going to help us into the future. As the school district, she's helped our principals to understand the importance of tuition tax credits and how to speak with business leaders and other people out in the community to be able to bring in much needed tuition tax credit dollars for after-school programs. And so Ann has just been a wonderful addition to our organization over the last year. As an Encore Fellow, she's helped us in every regard that we've hoped that she would be able to help us with. And her legacy here is really left to be decided still, because we're very much hoping that Ann is going to stay on and help us with our foundation. And she's going to be a big part of the future for the Balts School District and our community. And so we're very pleased and thankful to everyone who's been involved in this program, and looking forward to the future that will be brought to our district with Ann's help.
I'm Ann White, an Encore Fellow with the Balts Community Education Foundation. This is an organization that was founded 2 years ago to help support the Balts community. What we have done is to look at programs and services that will help children learn. The community is very low income. It's been designated a poverty income area, and there are about 2,600 students in the school. There have been so many programs that we've been able to work on. Part of it is the Kids Read program, and part of it is the Teacher Mini Grants for Children. I have gained much, much more from this Encore Fellowship than I believe I have given to the foundation. Part of it is learning about Kids Read, which allows a child in 3rd grade not only to hear a speaker read a book, but to be able to select a book to take home. The second part of it is this phenomenal program called the Promised Neighborhood, which is a collective impact program which will help children from cradle to career, helping them to understand they have the opportunity to go on to college or to secondary school, something that a child perhaps living in that neighborhood would never have thought of. And luckily, I'm going to be able to remain as a volunteer with this program, which means a great deal to me and to the youth in the area.
I am very thrilled that we had Diane Aguilar as our Encore Fellow for this year. Her project was called Community Connections, and she took that project from a blueprint to reality. What Diane has done particularly well is engage the communities, identify the stakeholders and the other service organizations, brought them into the bigger vision, and then hand-selected the ones that are most well-suited to our particular patient population. Being a cancer survivor herself, there was a real personal connection to Mission of Mercy, and she has brought that to bear in the entire year that she's been with us. So we're proud and thrilled to have had Diane Aguilar as our first Encore Fellow.
My fellowship is with Mission of Mercy. My project was Community Connections, which is being piloted at the Avondale Clinic. I was looking for a more balanced life. I was looking for something more inspiring. I decided to go back to school to get a certificate in nonprofit management that led me to Experience Matters and eventually my fellowship position with Mission of Mercy. I discovered that I'm living a great story and I'm looking forward to the next chapter.
We had the pleasure to have Isabel Leroy as an Encore Fellow. This project was related to how the Hispanic community, and more specifically, the Spanish-speaking Hispanic community relates to their pets, and how do they perceive laws and regulations as they relate to pets. Animals today are an important part of every family, of every neighborhood, of every community. In many instances, governments and nonprofit organizations in other areas of service should look at pets as a way to reach families, because pets are now part of our families. As such, reaching the Hispanic community through their pets and reaching them not only for services but also to help them in the interaction of their pets with our community is critical. Isabel's work has been tremendous in allowing us to get an insight of how the Hispanic community perceive pets and how their pets relate to the rest of the community.
I was the Community Outreach Analyst for Maricopa County Animal Care and Control. And my role as an Encore Fellow was to develop and administer a survey that would help identify the factors contributing to low levels of spaying, neutering, and vaccination within the Maricopa County Hispanic community. One of the things that I learned about myself and that was important to me was that passion within a community organization is essential. And also within the organization that I was working for and with as a partner was how important was maintaining the dignity of the community that they were serving. And for that I thank them for the opportunity to have been an active member of Maricopa County Animal Care and Control.
When Chris Guffey came to us, we had a very ambitious set of technology and business goals that were designed to set Arizona Science Center apart from other science centers in the world. We had tremendous obstacles as far as our infrastructure, our equipment, our manual processes, and Chris helped us overcome all of those. Today we have a new enterprise system. We no longer have manual processes. I have information that I can look at from yesterday, month to date, and year to date. And best of all, Chris left us with a roadmap that we can use to continue to advance our technology infrastructure for the next 3 to 5 years. Thank you so much, Chris. We miss you.
My project was implementing a business intelligence and data analytics solution for the Arizona Science Center so that they could understand constituent behavior. I want to thank everybody at the Arizona Science Center for the opportunity to work with them on this exciting project as they grow exponentially from this implementation, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Allowing me this opportunity to work with the Arizona Science Center brought passion back to technology and seeing how it could work to enrich the community in which we live and the lives of those people that it touches, as well as those people whose passion is to bring science to every age within the Phoenix community.
Warren Mills and the Encore Fellowship Program has had such a profound impact on the Alliance. Warren brought a very unique set of skills, talents, and energy and enthusiasm to our social enterprise project and to the Alliance as well. It was a perfect match. Warren took it upon himself to do market analysis, financial analysis, technical assessments, scheduling meetings, doing all the follow-up phone calls to come up with a very focused strategy to take our social enterprise out into the marketplace that we will be able to implement in years to come. Warren was also a team player in our organization, always looking for ways to assert himself in our organization, was a true mentor to our younger staff members, always brought a unique perspective to our organization. The Alliance is truly grateful to the Encore Fellowship Program, and we are so pleased to be part of the inaugural class, and most of all, we are truly grateful for Warren Mills.
Through Experience Matters, I've been assigned to the Alliance of Arizona Nonprofits. They're my host. Our project was to take their online database of grant funders for the nonprofit community in Arizona to a national level and also to improve its performance in the state. We were flexible, got a lot out of it. The plan is ready to be executed in the coming years. Specifically to the impact it had on me, the project itself showed that I still got a game going, even at my age, and that I've got a lot left to give to the community, to the nonprofit community, and I just couldn't have asked for a better year and a better set of experiences with Experience Matters, the Encore Fellowship Program, and the Alliance of Arizona Nonprofits.
Altered Tales is a high-volume sterilization clinic for cats and dogs. Greg Cebulski began at Altered Tales in November of 2011 as our Encore Fellow. Greg has done an extraordinary job of helping us brand our organization. Since Greg's arrival at Altered Tales, we have increased the number of surgeries by 1,500. That is an increase of 26%, which is pretty amazing. He's helped us do that by introducing a new logo to our organization. Our old logo was not really reflective of who we are as an organization. He's also helped by designing a sign for the front of our building that is also more reflective of who we are as an organization, and it identifies us as a nonprofit, low-cost spay-neuter clinic. Greg has also helped us to triple the number of our Facebook friends and use social media as a way to communicate that Altered Tales is a nonprofit and here to help people with spaying and neutering their cat or dog. And finally, Greg has helped us to increase, almost double, the number of donations through our direct mail and online appeals. And for that, we're all grateful to Greg for everything he's done for us. Thank you, Greg.
Our project was to use marketing and branding tools to help them increase their patient count, their level of donations, and their public awareness within the community. I work with a lot of nonprofits in this regard, but none quite like this because I was able to see on a day-to-day basis the results actually happen from the work I did. In fact, one morning, a woman was unloading 2 of her animals as I was coming into work, and she stopped me and said, "I want to thank you so much because without this place, I wouldn't have been able to spay and neuter my 2 cats." Being able to see firsthand the impact that you do from the good work that you're doing is a very meaningful and powerful thing, and it's something I'll miss. I'm so happy for the opportunity to work with these wonderful people.
My name is Marilyn Seaman. I'm the CEO of the Diane and Bruce Howley Foundation, and we had the distinct pleasure of working with Denise Schubert on a project that was very unique and impactful to our community. The project is called Live and Learn. Denise's involvement took this project to a new level. It's a marvelous project that it offered development and training opportunities for survivors of domestic violence, substance abuse, and homelessness. Our goal, to have 3 career tracks and 15 women going through the program at the end of Denise's first year being an Encore Fellow. However, we have more than tripled our goal. We have 45 fellows, and we in diverse career tracks, 8 different career tracks. Denise was the catalyst. She has formed wonderful relationships throughout the community with our partners who are essential to the success of our clients. She's emboldened women. She's earned their trust and support. She was a true asset to our organization, and we are eternally grateful to Encore Fellows for finding Denise and sharing her with us.
Having spent almost the last year working with this particular group of women, it's been an education for me in every conceivable way. These women have so many needs, and the challenges are so astronomical that really having the privilege to help them work through these problems has taught me so much about them, about life, and it's really changed the way that I view the world. And in helping these women through what are many times heartbreaking, wrenching stories, I am confident that the Live and Learn program has had a hugely powerful impact on their lives and changed them for the positive. And for that, I'm very grateful to have had the Encore Fellowship experience.
Our fellow is Christina McWright. She's been working on a project here that we call Atlas. Atlas is an agency tracking software program that allows us to track and find our participants in our food banking. Christina's project was to put together a manual for these agencies and for the individuals as they come in, so we can have a how-to step-by-step intake process, which will streamline our process for intake. We have her here to show us new and inviting ways to use the program. She's had a fresh approach to it, where we would have been kind of pigeonholed in a way of thinking that would have been an old way of thinking. So we're very happy and lucky to have her enlighten us on how to put a program together and do the actual legwork on it too. So very glad to have had her, and we will do this again.
My particular assignment dealt with agency services and working with their database to ensure that it was sustainable through training materials. It was great to learn about not only the organization and how it works day to day, but how they build strategies to sustain their services for years to come. A lot of change within the organization over the last year, and that was a benefit for me. It allowed me to see how they operate through change, and also how they respected me as a person in terms of the scope of my work and how that changed to meet the organization's overall strategy. I think I owe a lot to St. Mary's for this experience, and I'd love to be associated with them in the future as a result. So overall, I would say I've had a great experience. I recommend it to many of my colleagues and peers, and I think for me it won't be a straight path to a nonprofit, but I definitely see a future in what I can contribute. Thank you.
As an Encore Fellow, Debbie Hall had the opportunity to work for two different nonprofit organizations in Maricopa County. The first organization was the Arizona Foundation for Women, where she was the project manager of the Men's Anti-Violence Network. This is a network of gentlemen that combat domestic violence here in our county. Secondly, Debbie came into Experience Matters, where she took on two very important roles. First, she worked in the Encore Fellowship area to find organizations that would help us locate specifically skilled fellows as hosts are requesting those skills. Secondly, she worked on a large special event that Experience Matters is hoping to hold next year. It's been a pleasure to work with Debbie, and I know she's going to have a great career in the nonprofit sector.
My Encore Fellowship has had a big personal impact on me. I've enjoyed learning about the nonprofit sector over the past year, and it's really helped me to zone in on what I want to do next in my Encore career. I especially want to thank Nora Hanna and Linda Mason for giving me the opportunity this year. My work at both the Arizona Foundation for Women and at Experience Matters has really enlightened me about the nonprofit sector and what I want to do next. I've also learned an incredible amount about domestic violence as an issue in our community, and for that I will always be a proponent of everything that and do anything that I can to help prevent domestic violence in our community.
Bob Ryan was our Encore Fellow. Bob was the smart, polite, witty man who answered my "Good morning, Bob" every day with a "ma'am." In the first half of Bob's fellowship, he worked with our staff, partners, and the steering committee to help us create a hunger-free communities plan for Maricopa County. After the plan was finalized in March, Bob took the lead on working with summer meal programs to increase attendance and participation. With a focus on 5 schools in the Southwest Valley, Bob's ideas and his mini grant process that he created led to new activities that increased participation in all of those schools. It also resulted in a new $10,000 being invested in the Southwest Valley to end chronic hunger for our most vulnerable children and youth. Thank you, Bob.
I was an Encore Fellow with Valley of the Sun United Way this past year, and it was a great experience. Our program revolved around ending hunger in Maricopa County, and we worked with the Summer Food Service Program to provide meals for children in the summertime. United Way partnered with business leaders, community leaders, and government officials to help develop a program that would create hunger-free communities in Maricopa County.
We had the great fortune of working with Linda Hainan as our Encore Fellow this past year. Her project was to develop a 3-year plan that would help us reduce intake, reduce euthanasia by increasing spay-neuter, adoptions, and marketing and communications. Because of Linda's leadership and her professional experience and expertise that she brought to this project, the planning process was really deeply rooted in data, very thorough, but also really sparked by tremendous imagination and vision. Because of all of that, I think the plan strikes a really critical and difficult balance between both aspiration and feasibility. Now, with all that work behind us, the groups now have a very concrete plan that they're fundraising for. And my hope is that in 3 years' time, Linda can look back and see that the intake has gone down to a different plateau, the euthanasia has been reduced because of the work that she has done and the efforts that her work has made possible.
My project was to write a strategic plan for the Alliance of Companion Animals, a group of 8 of the largest animal welfare agencies in Maricopa County. The goal of the plan was to help them achieve their goal of ending the needless euthanasia of companion animals in our county. I felt very gratified by the experience. I felt very lucky and personally rewarded to be able to take my 30 years of corporate experience and apply it to the nonprofit sector and a cause I believed in. Thank PetSmart Charities for selecting me as their fellow, and especially Monica Neal, the program manager and my supervisor over the course of the fellowship. Thank you.
A few of us are here today to talk about Jeff Abraham, our Encore Fellow. Jeff served in this capacity for the last year as our Senior Center Strategic Planning Manager and helped us build our organizational capacity to better serve our seniors and to prepare for the incoming boomer population within our senior centers. We have a 3-year strategic plan because of Jeff's work.
I'm Jan Nickpon, and I am so delighted that I was able to work with Jeff Abraham on this project. The goals and objectives that he set forth for us are going to be so helpful with our staff as we move forward in enhancing our program at the senior centers.
I had the pleasure of working with Jeff this past year. When I think about the impact he made to the strategic vision for Tempe Community Action Agency, it really was his attention to detail and taking the time to research all the different best practices from centers across the valley when it came to senior services. He provided a very thorough analysis of the data, which really has helped us